Bing bongy bong, bing bongy bong. This is Joe, the bearded historian. He'll tell you an interesting story. Be careful of his soldiers, they can be brats. This is Angel, she's an entity. She'll cause chaos and plant her hands at you. This is Sue, she likes spirits, not the alcohol. She's the reason this channel exists. This is David, he likes fire trucks. He's here occasionally. Bing bongy bong, bing bongy bong, bing bongy bong. We preserve his story.
Alright, so in this happy Friday, weekend's coming up. We've got ideas. Hopefully you will enjoy those ideas. We're very excited for one of them. In this video, you're going to see three things. Grave of a teacher, a school, and a stockade. It was a very interesting little trip. One of our nearby trips, because we weren't able to go very far. I think we had to be back for a movie. Anyway, we had to be back for something anyway. So I hope you enjoy our little trip here. Enjoy the buildings. We did enjoy it, so hopefully you will as well. Have a great weekend. Have a good day. Finish business. I'm just kidding. Alright, since we had a stockade, a teacher, and a school, we're going to go with Minecraft because I've seen stockades in Minecraft, and lots of school kids do Minecraft, so we're going to do that. Are you ready? Here's our race. Maybe. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Alright, so we got She Stole, we got Richmond, we got Jacob, we got Swish, Belle, TNT, George, Bobby, Rock, Frugal, 755, Traveling Van, Supered, Makeup, Eddie, Praying, Nikki and Happy, Pinned, let's see, Anthony, there's Northern, Tammy, JB, Tramps, Melinda, Goat, One Busy, Abundance. Oh, Lashes coming from that. Oh, geez, Lashes. She wants to win today. Let's see. There's Distracted. There's Pedroza. There's Pete. There's George. There's Rock. Oh, Anthony's taking over. Is it going to be Anthony? It is Anthony. Alright, so we've got Anthony all day. And Anthony is a fishing channel with 10K, which is very impressive for fishing. And as you can see, he's got fishing videos and fishing shorts and fishing lives. So if you like to watch people fish or are a fisherman yourself, check out Anthony. Like, share, comment. Have a good day.
Style apparatus to defend your positions with, and it's also a lot different than the forts that we've seen with the stone walls and stuff, because back then there wasn't a lot of material to build with. But we'll come down here.
I guess it does get a little bit closer, doesn't it?
Looks like it.
Nice.
Big boats coming.
Silly boats. The white on the ground you see is not snow. That's hailstones.
Hailstone.
We just got hit by hail. See the short that we put up a little bit ago?
Yeah, it literally came right on through us. There's also, all these houses, this was not here.
We're not going to go down that way?
Yeah, we are. There's a road down here that cuts over.
Oh, okay, I see. Yep. I just saw that little one.
Yeah, that's the Nicholson Trail.
Oh.
But there's a parking lot right there.
Got you. Okay. And look, there are
bathrooms.
That's not the word I was looking for. Placky things.
Yeah.
Signs.
Signs.
Couldn't remember what the word was for.
Yeah. And we'll turn here. to the entrance.
Entrance required.
Day use only. I'm not using it during the day.
Can we use it during the day?
Should be able to. Park right here.
Sounds good.
And we can walk in.
Okay, here we go.
I mean, you can imagine 1870, there was nothing here. Wide open areas, maybe some buffalo would meander through. Native Americans would follow the buffalo, you know, migrating nomadic as they were.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Those are for bicycles?
Yeah.
Very cool. I like the wrenchy one.
Yep. Map noises.
Map noises!
Yeah. Portland Army. Again, we were there. You know, they made a deal with the treaty, making 26 million acres as a reservation. That's all this land right here. You are right about here.
It's a meadow, sort of.
Sort of. And it was the idea that we would have nothing to do with this area. Because, well, Black Hills are right there. You know, Wyoming, Montana, none of these were states. And South Dakota didn't become a state until 1889. And when the treaty was made in 1868, 17 articles of agreements and political pressure, the treaty was signed on April 29th. Other chiefs consented throughout the year, with the final signing November 26th. So it took a while for them to get everybody together and signed. And it was approved by President Andrew Johnson, declared effective in February of 1869. The agreement would temporarily halt frontier clashes. And somebody sent Custer in 1874.
And there are lots of stories about how that was a wonderful journey.
Yeah.
Oh, careful.
Now, Custer, he made his journey, interestingly enough, from Fort Abraham Lincoln in present-day North Dakota. And he would take a southerly route through present-day Wyoming, down by where Newcastle is, and then up through the Black Hills from the south. One of his first sites was through here, around present-day Custer. And they would do different things. They would do photographs, you know, see what sort of wildlife were in the area. And, of course, look for a pretty shiny little yellow rock. Now, here's our buddy's Custer's expedition, and yeah, he discovered gold. Now, an economic crash was one of the boosts that they needed. They needed to find another source of income because, well, Montana didn't quite pan out the way they were hoping. Colorado really didn't pan out the way they were hoping. California was still a couple more years down the road, and Alaska hadn't been annexed yet. But Custer and his expedition came in, and they went to map the region, locate a future site for a military post, and underlying was to confirm the presence of gold. Now, they found it in French Creek near this location. Now, even though the findings were meager, the news inflated the alleged riches in the Black Hills. Now, what's interesting is everybody doesn't realize, yeah, this is where it was originally found. Everybody went crazy for Deadwood.
Right.
And I mean, they were talking about it coming off the hills and in the creeks and everything else. But it was all down here, you know, nice and easy. Two miners, Horatio Ross and William T. McKay, were with the expedition, and both men found gold in the nearby French Creek, yet Ross is often claimed to be the first discoverer. Now, they started, like I was mentioning, at Fort Abraham Lincoln near Bismarck, July 2nd, 1874. They went 883 miles, surveying 1,250 miles of land in 60 days.
Oh my goodness. That's like almost nonstop.
Yeah.
Because they moved slow back then.
Oh yeah, and this is what one of their caravans looked like. All these wagons. They had a military force of over 1,000 men, 1,900 horses and mules, 300 beef cattle, and 110 supply wagons. So yeah, we've seen dioramas of what this camp looked like. I think they had one in Custer, and I think they also had one in Hot Springs.
I think so.
They have the trail blocked off. Huh?
Yeah, I saw that one coming this way.
Yeah.
There's a Blackie there.
Ooh. The Stockade Lake Spur. It's an extension to the George S. Mickelson Trail, tribute to the many individuals, local communities, organizations, agencies that shared the vision of the Stockade Lake Spur. So they built this. That's kind of cool. Has a little point out.
Baptizes for the trail.
Yep. George S. Mickelson Trail. Ah, yes. As I was mentioning, now, this group, the Gordon Party, 28 people, they headed west from Iowa City, that way. Now, they had to move the cavalry across Dakota Territory, and following the wagon trail of the Custer expedition, they made a permanent camp in this area in December. Named after the leader, John Gordon, the structure became known as the Gordon Stockade. Now, due to cold weather, sparse findings, 6 party members deserted the stockade in March. Captured by the cavalry, they were forced to disclose the location. Captain John Mix and the 2nd Cavalry Company discovered the stockade on April 5th, 1875. They escorted the party members back to Fort Laramie. Ironically, many of them were not charged with any crime, and they returned in future months to continue the search for gold. Now, nearly every stream witnessed a gold panner in the late 1870s. A well-trained seeker could work a pan of dirt in about 15 minutes, yet their reward of gold flakes was few and far between.
Right.
Again, it's the fact that somebody might have made money, but, you know, nothing to really write home about. So some of the members of the first expedition returned to the hills during the summer of 1875, others in the spring of 1876, while a few never returned. Now, again, they only came for gold. They weren't after land. They weren't looking to set up houses. They were after the gold. Now, the Gordon Party departed Sioux City October 6th and arrived at the location about December the 23rd. They spent the first 3 weeks building the stockade for protection. Then they turned their efforts to gold panning in the nearby Frozen Creek, known as French Creek. Now, the party members panned throughout the valley, failing to make their efforts fruitful. Their tireless ambition made their dreams seem worthy, but as time progressed, they became disheartened. Hence, 3 guys actually split. Now, Annie Talent, as noted, was the first white woman to enter the Black Hills. She was an adventurous 47-year-old woman. She was not a young puppy when she did this.
No, she's a little bit older than me.
Yeah. Her hot lawyer husband and their 9-year-old son, Robert, were looking to strike it rich in the Black Hills. So people from all over the country were coming out here looking for gold because it was the idea, strike it rich. You can live off the fruits of your labor, and not many fruit and a whole lot of labor.
Right. Hi, geese.
These fellas. Nothing. This is out looking for worms.
Probably.
Other goodies.
Worms, bugs, whatever they can get.
Now, did the gold rush forever tarnish the Black Hills? For 2 years, or 3, the thousands of citizens illegally entered the Black Hills in search of gold. Gold panners, newspaper articles, frontiers told of great wealth and encouraged the onslaught of the region. The military made vain efforts to control this tide. Before long, 10 to 12,000 people flooded the region, building towns and mining camps. To quell the rush, something had to be done. The government planned another expedition, the Newton-Jenny expedition, in 1875. The party had orders to determine a price tag. And as we later learned in history, this Manny-Penny Treaty to open the Black Hills was an attempt to make a deal.
How do they split one way here, one way here?
Yeah. This was the down in Nebraska where we saw that great big tree.
Mm-hmm.
This is where they took and made that offer to the Lakota for control of the hills. And finally, this treaty that they gave them was what's referred to as a take it or leave it deal. And the Native Americans decided it was not for sale. They thought the value of the Black Hills was $6 million. And so they elected to stay with the Fort Laramie Treaty, and the government responded by withdrawing its troops, and the prospectors were left to enter or remain at their own risk. Places like Custer, Hill City, Keystone, and Deadwood sprang up with shops, supply centers, and saloons. Like many gold rushes prior to 1876, the businesses that followed, the miners struck it rich. But that was their little effort. Of course, it's funny, I thought that only $6 million, of course, $6 million back then,
yeah,
might have been $83 million now. But interestingly enough, the Native Americans still have not accepted any money. They said they want the Black Hills instead. I don't really blame them.
Because if I thought that they would be able to do something with the Black Hills,
Right.
I'd be all for it. But those times have passed, and we've seen how they take care of the few things that they do have, that I just don't trust them to do it. Don't get me wrong, there are probably a few who could do good things,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not enough, I don't think, anymore. Whew. Cadets!
Happiness. Mr. Cabot, please keep out. Okay?
What? I want to go in. How dare you?
Very cool, though.
How dare you?
It was actually open. There's ants are everywhere.
Yeah, they got chased out of the grass.
I believe it. Well, they built it to withstand a lot. Kind of cool, though.
I like that one's collapsed.
Yeah, I see that.
Looks like the other ones.
There, the door's busted in. And probably bored teens, I imagine.
Probably.
You know, you can't build anything nice and expect it to stay up. But can you imagine moving here, setting these up in December?
Ooh, waspies.
Waspies.
Over by the fence.
Yeah. Imagine trying to set this up in December, working for 3 months to try to find gold over there in that stream. Not finding anything.
That would depend on the weather.
Yeah.
Because December could be really, really cold or semi-mild.
Mild, yeah.
So it just depends on what kind of weather we were having. Hey, look, that one almost looks like it's got a heart.
I see that.
That's fun.
Fun.
Or a happy face.
Happy face. And of course, you know, with the walls and everything to keep the Native Americans out. There's a
Good thing you won't
historical
bother.
marker, too. Custer State Park. You got Stockade Lake. Christian was with the little water thing here.
Yeah. I don't know what's with the water thing. Nothing seems to say.
And once they figure out what they're doing with it, they'll turn it back on.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe come back on and at the end of the month after Memorial Day.
Maybe people can practice panning here.
That's probably what it's for.
Yeah, because they got the sluice gate there and the thing you can put your pans into. Hi, geesos.
Oh. Got.
Well, this is in memory of Donna Talent, Annie Talent, the teacher and
Before they
author.
renamed it.
Born in New York State on April 12, 1827, died in Sturgis, February 13, 1901. She was the first white woman to enter the Black Hills, arriving in Custer City in December of 1874.
Nice.
Shortly after Custer's party made their discovery. This monument is erected by the Society of Black Hills Pioneers, and many admirers. The world is a better place because she lived and worked in it. History, she was one of the first teachers. She was really big in Rapid City until the local progressives decided that she was a racist, and they renamed her school and several other things because she declared the Native Americans savages at that time.
At that time, most people called them savages.
Exactly. But in this day and age, they like to try to erase history if they can. Now, interestingly enough, I'm going to flip us around. You're going to see a structure over here made of wood. That was, this is a replication, obviously, of what was known as the Gordon Stockade. Annie Talent was in with that group. The Gordon Stockade was made by a group of enterprising prospectors who were looking for gold. They snuck into the Black Hills illegally, set up the stockade as a way to defend their position from Indian attacks. Everything was okay until they were discovered by soldiers, who then escorted them out and burned the old one down.
Woo!
Well, after a couple months and resupplying of provisions, they came back and rebuilt it.
Of course.
And so now it's got a replica that's set up over there. Sadly, I don't see a road except there's one way over there.
We might have to walk to it.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it stopped raining.
Yeah, I'm going to try to swing around and see if we can't get closer. So, if you want to use your video.
Alright, here's hoping that the buspies aren't out. Historical site.
The Glen Aaron School. Site of the first public school building in the Black Hills, built by Ed Walsh, James Dorn, and George Goodloch. Logs were hand-hewn from nearby trees and hauled to the site by oxen. First school was held in the summer of 1882. The teacher was a Mr. Fowler. Last school, 1920. The teacher was Margaret Adair, courtesy of the Custer County Historical Society. Now, one thing of interest, and this goes to several schools, Jefferson, Lincoln, Garfield schools. A lot of times, early schools weren't named after major historical features, they were named after the people's whose property the school was built on. A lot of them in the Northern Hills, I noticed that a couple of different places. Then when it started becoming more patriotic to name them after presidents and historical features, they changed policy a little bit. You can also still see where the hail was built up a bit.
Yes. Hasn't melted yet. It will, though.
Yeah.
So cool. You know, I have one of those terrible ideas. We could come out here with our ghost stuff. Actually, technically it's in the car. But imagine doing that in the evening or night when it's darker.
Here's some historical information. Generally credited, the first schoolhouse built in the country in Custer County. Aaron School was built in 1881. Land donated in Section 28, T38, built by E.P. Pat Walsh. He and several neighbors, George Goodlock and son, and the Doran men built the school with hand-hewn logs located 4 miles east of Custer on the Lower French Creek Road on a property now owned by Custer State Park. Now, there were 46 students in the Glen Aaron School in 18.
Holy cow!
Yeah,
I'm trying to picture 46 people in here.
that's a lot of kids.
Holy cow!
It was well attended for many years and served the community through the 1920-21 school year. It was also the scene of nearby school elections, literatures, and socials. Of the many teachers who taught here were Toll Hitch, Miss Pitch, Henry Bradley, Maud Drew, Irma Bauer, Roxy Bauer, Jesse McLean, Effie Wood, Ella Doran, Alta Harkness, Mabel Berg, Marie McMillan, Hallie Hazen, Fred Klingbold, Belle Ellison, Erna Schirm, Arthur Shoemaker, Marianne Barnett, Ottilie Alger, Alta Scott, Margaret Rosell, Stella Lafferty, Alice Tubbs, Margaret Adair, Mary L. Reed, Amy Gurney, Norma Hilsey, and Mary Humphreys. The building was given to the Custer County Historical Society. It was in extreme disrepair, but some or all of what is left was preserved in some manner.
I can see a lot of it's original. Obviously, the roof they put tin or metal to keep it safe.
Yeah.
But most of it, you can tell, is original.
And all the buildings were all stabilized by F.E. Sauer and his assistant Tommy Boggs, by Jorgensen Log Homes in 2001, under the direction of Jorgensen Log Homes employee Ed Souter, assistant Tommy Boggs and a group of men from the Lower French Creek Road built a roof canopy over the school in August of 2002, and with the addition of a floating floor entryway and 6 benches in August of 2002, it was completed.
We lost 2
by
benches.
October. Yeah. The sign was preserved and repainted in 2003 before a complete celebration. In 2004, Dave Paget made window frames and used an old glass to complete the windows.
We don't have any glass.
No. Also, men from the Lower French Creek combined talents with Jorgensen School to fill in the spaces between the logs, finishing the building school to this point. Here's what it originally looked like when they got it in 2001. Yeah, that's what it looks like a year later.
And this is what it looks like now.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's kind of wild. Interesting. Yeah, here's the thing about the ranch I was telling you about. In the fall of 1973, the Glen Allen Ranch was purchased by the state of South Dakota. Mr. Walsh home in the Glen Allen School was designated as historical sites in Custer County. The house was later demolished, but the Custer County Historical Society had the school stabilized.
Well, at least they kept one of them.
Yeah.
So sad.
It would have been cool to see the house. You can kind of see through the slots.
Kinda.
School in session? Yeah, it should be. You see where the birdie birds have been pooping.
Yes.
I imagine if they wanted to get out of the rain, it'd be a good place to do it.
You know what I want to do? There isn't one here.
There you go.
And we've got those little mini school books.
You got it with you?
Mm-hmm. Well, I have one of the big ones, which has no school books in it, but it's got the skateboards in it. I don't know if we can hide it inside without permission, but there's a couple places outside.
Right.
Like maybe behind that one stone we were looking at, or behind the
board right there. Or...
yeah, behind the sign.
I'd do that.
All right, well, we're gonna say that.
Hey, bye-bye. We'll see you
Woo.
later.